Bon dia, YouTube. I have 5 square meters of flooring down. I think that's what it is. To complete, I need to cut holes into the stone here. Now in Portugal, this is called a schist stone wall. As you can see, that piece there at the bottom is actually solid rock, just there. That is a solid piece of bedrock along there and along there. Now I need to cut that end of that beam in at least 4 to 6 inches to provide weight support for that part of the floor, and I'll cut all the holes along there, which I want to do before I go any further, because if that stone crumbles or isn't supporting in any way, I'm going to have to come up with another method of doing it. Now it looks like it was, but as you can see from that piece there, that was a floor beam before, and it was probably in an inch, inch and a half, and just here we probably had 2 inches with a little bit of not even that for support, but there was a staircase there before, and so technically that area wasn't in use. These others were. We've got no moisture come through, so hopefully when I cut this one it'll be at the right height. I've got it already set up and jigged with clamps and everything, checked that it's level, so I've got that wall marked. I will try and time lapse this because I actually have a bit more room now, whereas before I barely had any room above or below because of logistical stuff. That's my talky bit anyway. I'll time lapse some.
Is this all that you dreamed it'd be? Ending up here, ending up with me. You could have gone anywhere, been anyone. You stole my heart like a thief on the run. Taking chances, but you're taking a chance on me. And now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see. And I never thought I'd find anything close to all that I knew you would be. Ain't it beautiful? Dream in color, you're black and white, and I prefer the country, your city lights. But we made our bed and it feels just right, so I'll stay here with you for the rest of my night. For taking chances, but you've taken a chance on me. And now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see. And I never thought I'd find anything close to all that I knew you chances, but you've taken a chance on me. Now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see. And I never thought I'd find anything close to all that I knew you would be. Ain't it beautiful? Darling, it's beautiful with you here next to me. Is this all that you dreamed it'd be? Ending up here, ending up with me. You could have gone anywhere, been anyone. You stole my heart like a thief on the run. You're not much for taking chances, but you've taken a chance on me. And now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see. And I never thought I'd find anything close to all that I knew you would.
Boa tarde, YouTube. Good afternoon. Probably Sarah. But... So I've got 5 holes cut. Beams across. They are all within acceptable limits, 1mm, which I'm very happy with. No, they're not fixed. No, they're not finished. They are all marked. The lengths are marked. The holes require cement putting in them to bring some of them up and to consolidate the points, especially this number 2 hole just here, if you can see it, because half of the brick fell away, or half of the rock. That is part of that bedrock. That is very hard. You've seen the time lapse. You saw that one coming apart and me looking at it going, wow, okay. That one was a much better cut. That one, a lot came out. That one was better. That one, a lot had to come out because there was some very hard stone in here. Some of the stone is extremely hard, some is extremely soft. It's weird. But I'm going to call that a win. No, there isn't one there because we're going to use the lip on the edge. If you can see that on the video, we're going to lip it in using one of the old roof trusses which has got no woodworm in, and the same with down the side. So they'll all be treated, fitted and put in at a later point. What I need to do now is get these ready to go in, and then I can put more board on the floor here, put another board out there, keep 2 of those beams out so I can gain access and egress, so I can empty the bedroom into here, so I can then do the bedroom and then complete this, if that makes sense. It does to me, because it does. Also, once I've done the bedroom, I'll have more space down the far end, because I'm going to have to move everything out from the far end in the basement, so I can drop that floor in, put the new one in, work around everything, and then I can put everything shoved down there and bring this all the way from here, so I've got better access. And I'm just talking and waffling again. and it is 4 o'clock on a Friday. Oh, 3:45 on a Friday. I believe it was beer o'clock. As you can see, a nice clean job yet again today. But I'm very pleased with the progress. I was expecting that to be a lot harder. And in some ways it was, because I've created about 4 other problems to resolve. I was hoping to just cut the slots in and then slip the beams in. Never so easy. So away it goes. Have a good weekend. Bon dia, YouTube. Day 8 of the floor. Spanned that piece, put some lightweight on it. Got all the beams cemented into position, all level. That's screwed down a final fix. I've extended my floor here a little bit, as you can see. A bit of a dip there. Where's that gap? Anyway, look at that later. And it's very busy in here. We have a lot of stuff because
Simon's a hoarder.
Simon's a hoarder, yeah. We've taken out the bedroom floor. As I previously said, there's not a lot of room to put the camera up, so rather than try and dodge dropping stuff on the camera, I've not been filming.
There's not a lot of room because all Simon's tools are up here, as well as in the workshop. He now has 2 workshops.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's because I need them. So yes, we're cracking on with this today. Won't be doing a lot of filming. I want to get my first set of beams in, get my measurements right. As you may see, the main water line there, the green pipe, is going to be a pain in the butt. But we'll overcome that challenge at another point. Day 10. Bon dia. As you can see, I've replaced the water line, used compression fittings. A couple of them are weeping. Tube's not totally round, which is a storage issue. Also replaced the cable, which goes to the laundry room. It had this on it. This is why the house needs a complete rewire. As you can see, that is a standard joint, not just twisted together and taped up inside the trunking conduit, whatever it was. It's just, yeah, I'm glad I changed the cable, to be honest with you. I was going to leave it in and just tack it back and wait until I did my full rewire, but I'm glad I didn't. So today, setting out the floor, laser alignment of the beams, from a laser thing, leveling and getting them bedded in. I will try and video some of it. I don't know how that's going to work though, because there's not a lot of space down there, so you might miss some of it, and I'll just show you when it's complete. End of day 10. One board fully fixed. That one needs cutting to size and shape. We also need to put in the support edge along there, but we can now get to the window to shut it again. And here's the project manager running away quickly. So once we've got those final bits in down that side and these bits here, we can fully lay the floor and move all the crap that's in there back in here. And then finish this floor because I don't need access anymore, and that'll be that done, hopefully. And that's the full subfloor then laid, and everything done apart from clearing up the cellar basement thing. Botard. And here we have the lesser spotted project manager coming out of her garden environment from stopping digging holes and treating floor.
That's one thing I'm good at is digging holes.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have nearly completed the floor. Not really had time to time lapse anything. As usual, there is very little room.
We don't really need to treat this, but we are really.
Yeah. Belt and braces approach. We seem to have found some woodworm treatment that doesn't stink nearly as bad as the other stuff. So that was because we can ventilate a lot more.
No, it still stinks.
Day 12, putting down a subfloor, I think. We've got steels for when we insulate and then plasterboard the walls. The floor in the bedroom is finished, subfloored, complete. Had a few challenges on this one. I've got my last beam in. Don't need to bring any big stuff up or down now. We're reusing one of the old beams, but we were going to use one there, but it was just way too high. So we have put a brick plate in to support the subfloor there, and we're going to do the same all the way down there. I'm coming off that beam that way to support that floor there, so I shouldn't need one. We'll overcome that issue as we come to it as well. So hopefully you understand where I'm coming from, and that brick is going to support the subfloor there and then the main floor, so there's no sag, dip, movement or bows. This wall here is going to be insulated as well because that's going to be an external wall, and we don't want excessive cold or heat either way coming in there. So that'll be that. It's not bad for 12 days work. Yeah, this bit here was started earlier whilst we awaited materials. It was just to assess the flooring, but we've cracked on quite well, to be honest with you. And yes, it is a bit of a mess with tools and equipment, but these things do happen, so you know. But we have one clean room with a few stored items in, and it's cleaner than it's been, so it's much better. Anyway, I'll try and do some time lapse tomorrow. We've not had a lot of chance to film because been busy and we've got a lot to do, and constantly moving the camera about trying to time lapse stuff is, you know, it takes a real pro. So that's not me, unfortunately. Day 14, 12:25. My subfloor is in. A few little bits along the edges to resolve. I'm calling it a win. A little bit of strengthening to go on underneath, no big issues. I have my pine boards in here now to acclimatise. They were in the kitchen, which was a stone floor. But before we lay boards in this room, we want to practice the stud walling. And I still have to chemical anchor that one there above the window, which is on my to-do list. But all in all, I'm calling it a win. The floor's load bearing, doesn't creak, doesn't move, doesn't flex. It's 15mm OSB. The underside has been fully treated. The top will need fully treating. To do that, we'll probably clear the room. In there, do that one first, and then lay the boards so they can be stained. And then that'll be a new can't walk on my new floor issue, or clean boots or slippers. Anyway, yeah, I'm really chuffed. Says Michelle. Now we can get on with what we were going to do in the first place, which is renovate the kitchen and the bathroom and the bedroom, insulate, because the flooring has held us up from materials. The roof, ceiling, held us up from materials as well. And then Michelle can get on with plastering, because she can do makeup, so she can plaster.